Long ago, I taught you about soy, and you learned that soy is a phytoestrogen. In other words, it's a plant source of estrogen. You'll see that it comes up as an option for managing many aspects of your menopause. In the case of preventing a heart attack, soy is very beneficial. There is an absolute inverse relationship between consumption of soy and heart attacks. In other words, the more soy you eat, the lower your risk for a heart attack. Soy lowers your total cholesterol, your lousy LDL, and your triglycerides. So soy is great for lowering the fats that cause a heart attack. And one of the things you see on the list of risk factors for a heart attack, but do not see on a nutrition label, is triglycerides. And even if a nutrition label did list triglycerides, it would not be useful for purposes of preventing a heart attack. You know why? Because triglycerides play a double role in increasing your risk for a heart attack. The first role has to do with how much triglyceride content there is in a food before you eat it. And the second is what your body does with the food after you eat it. And here's the catch. A food does not have to contain any triglycerides at all for your body to turn it into a triglyceride. And that's because triglycerides function as energy stores. So when you eat a triglyceride, your body may burn it for energy right then and there, or your body may store it as energy for later on in the form of a triglyceride. So when you eat a meal that is too large, or you eat a high-fat food, or you eat a bunch of junk food, or you eat something that is full of sugar, your body stores the excess as triglycerides. Think of your excess fat as triglycerides. It's stored for later use, and it's your body's way of protecting itself against starvation. So now you have a situation in which even non-fat foods can become fat in your body. And that's why there's more to preventing a heart attack than just eating low-fat foods. And that's also why I've divided the dietary options for preventing a heart attack into 3 separate parts, one on fat, one on fiber, and one on sugar. And if you listen to all of them in order, you'll learn everything you need to know in order to succeed in using dietary measures to prevent a heart attack. Okay, there's just one item left here. It's high homocysteine level. Have you ever heard of homocysteine? Of course you have. If you've been listening to my podcast or watching my videos, you have. But most people haven't. Homocysteine is an amino acid that comes from, of course, animal protein. Don't you just hate how all these things just keep coming back to what you don't want to hear? I'm sorry, but I would be more sorry if you had a heart attack because you didn't know about homocysteine. It's very simple. If you eat animal products, your homocysteine level is going to be high. And a high homocysteine level is associated with a high risk of heart attack. A level over 15 micromoles per liter is considered high risk for a heart attack. So once again, this is a simple thing to prevent using the dietary option of omitting animal products from your diet. So isn't it shocking how this whole low-fat dietary option is only about one thing, and that one thing is animal products? But when the same thing keeps coming up again and again, it should tell you something. It should tell you that it's important and that it makes sense for many different reasons. Okay, now we live in a time when there are all sorts of fad diets for this and that. So let me tell you which diets are the best and which are the worst for preventing a heart attack with regard to fat. Again, I'm being very specific here. I'll tell you the worst ones first. The very worst kind of diet you can use for preventing a heart attack with regard to fat is any diet that involves consuming a lot of animal products. These include the Atkins diet and the keto diet. They fill you with all the fats that cause heart attacks. And the very best diets you can use to prevent a heart attack with regard to fat is any diet that limits or omits animal fats and animal products. So diets that promote fruit, veggies, and plants are the ones that will prevent a heart attack. And these include the Ornish diet, the low glycemic index diet, and the South Beach diet. So there you have it. This does it for dietary options for preventing a heart attack with regard to fats. You see, I try to keep it really simple so that you can draw on the information anywhere, anytime. And you know that fats are not the whole story when it comes to the dietary options for preventing a heart attack. We've still got two other dietary categories. So in the next podcast, I'll address the role of fiber in preventing a heart attack. And in the podcast after that, we'll tackle sugar. Please go to menopausetailor.me. That's my website. And my website has so much useful information for helping you learn to manage your menopause your way on whatever terms you wish. And you know, I'm an all-purpose educator for purposes of menopause. I cover all the categories. This education is about diet, lifestyle, vitamins, minerals, herbs, botanicals, hormonal medication options, non-hormonal medication options. There isn't anything I don't address. The whole idea is for you to do it any way you want. But really, it's the key is to know the limitations of every single option, because every option has benefits, risks, pros, cons, advantages, disadvantages, strengths and weaknesses. And the key is to know what they are, because as long as you use things for their intended purpose and expect them to do what they really can do, you'll be fine. But when you have magical thinking and you expect food to do what hormones to do, or hormones to do what exercise can do, I mean, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. We all wish it could, but it doesn't. And so you have to be realistic with what each item can and cannot do. Frame your expectations accordingly and go from there, because then you will be successful. And all I care about is that you're successful. I don't have a preference as to how you manage your menopause. This is not your menopause management my way. It's your menopause management your way. So it's not, I don't have a preference for what you do. I care that you are happy with what you're doing, and I care that you're happy both now and later. And there's no way you're going to be happy in the big picture if you don't have an education that helps you understand what the big picture is. And unfortunately, this is the first time in the history of man that there has ever been an education for menopause, ever. I am the only person on this planet giving an education, a real education on menopause. There's a whole lot of hype, a whole lot of advertising, a whole lot of coercion, a whole lot of selling, but there's no education. I don't have an angle. I will help you no matter what you want to do to manage your menopause. I just want you to understand everything factually so that you use everything in the way that will help you the most. I am your advocate. I will help you teach you how the medical system works. I will teach you how to get what you want from different professionals. I will teach you the limitations of the different professionals that are available to you. My goal is for you to succeed in managing your menopause your way. So please go to menopausetailor.me. Please schedule a consultation at your convenience. I am always here to help you, and I love doing it. So I will talk to you again in the next podcast. I hope you come back. Bye.